It has the words killing, floor, and two. You get a symphony of destruction, mayhem, and poetry when you combine them. Why Killing Floor 2, you might ask? Why not the first one? Or why not the original Unreal Tournament 2005 mod Killing Floor 0? Oh, you should play those. They had great aesthetics and horror elements that were considered great for that time and age. And Killing Floor 0 had a single player mode also, which was done very well, and the design of enemies was better in Killing Floor 1 while maintaining the horror and despair. As I mentioned before, this is my list, and you will learn to appreciate it, and you will learn the meaning of tough love. Now be a good lad and go grab daddy a belt, will ya? Time to kill some floor.
We have to realize a reality beyond our eyes. In a lost world, the Antichrist is gonna rise, and we'll have to realize a reality beyond our eyes. In a lost world, the Antichrist will fall. The future written in the past, a prophecy of everything ending.
Shout out to my boys at Tripwire for making such a hellishly good video game. They got some pretty good games under their belt, but nothing beats Killing Floor. It is their magnum opus and should be treated as such. So what is Killing Floor? It is a first-person multiplayer co-op survival horror horde shooter. Yes! All the aforementioned tags in unison represent the utter and pure brilliance that this game embodies. There is no campaign, but it can be played solo. Nevertheless, it is much more enjoyable with the company of 5 more equally deranged individuals. There are some story elements that can be used to fathom burning questions like, why am I being chased by these things? Why do they look like that? Why do most of them have sharp objects attached to their limbs? And then you realize this is just London after midnight.
London?
Yes, London. You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Scientist Kevin Clamley got hired by the British government to conduct a series of genetic modifications on humans in hopes of creating super soldiers. Dr. Clamley, alongside his trusty associate, Dr. Hans Volta, became the leader of Horizon Biotech. As we all know, genetic tampering on humans always ends well, so an outbreak befell London after some years of research, and zombies swarmed the... Oh, sorry, Zeds is the right term. Horizon CEOs asked the United Nations for help. The UN responded by sending food supplies and water to Zeds, since they are underrepresented and oppressed. Horizon took matters into their own hands and hired you alongside other mercenaries to deal with the coming tide of Zeds.
You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
You start off by picking your class. There are 10 of them, and every single one is enjoyable. As you progress and level up each of them, you get perks that can change your playstyle in many different ways. The maximum level is 25 for all classes, and it can take a while to get there. My favorite class is Gunslinger, due to its beautiful reload animations and packing a lot of firepower. Although their clip size and ammo are rather limited, so you need to take extra care not to run out of bullets. Berserker class is for people who really like to cosplay guts and want to meet their problems head on. They are the tankiest class of them all, but if not played properly, since there is a steep learning curve, you can pretty much perish at a moment's notice. Field medic class is for people who spend their free time like this. Firebug class can be appreciated by pyromaniacs and women who love to take skin-melting hot showers but will swear it's still cold. If you do not know how to aim, this is a perfect class since most of Firebug's weapons do AoE damage. SWAT class might be appealing to people who like police roleplay in bed. No, state sanctioned violence does not turn me on actually. This class is almost tanky as Berserk class, but if you lose armor, go and try finding a hole to die in. Demolitionist class is best enjoyed if you turn off your brain and just aim at the general direction of Zeds. Explosions will do the rest. The only thing you need to be considerate of is the proximity of those explosions, since they do not damage your teammates but they can kill you. Commando class is your go-to for fans of Call of Duty. Enjoy bundles of ammunition and firepower. Commando is the only class that can see the health bars of all Zeds, giving them information on who should be their primary target. Support class people spend their time like this. But only if they pick up perks that other teammates can benefit from. Still, even if not, they can do some serious damage. Sharpshooter class is for little bitches who like to camp in a corner and snipe a... Oh right, they can camp in a corner, since if you do, 90% of the time you end up like this. Still, I think that the sharpshooter class is one of the weakest ones, considering you do not have a high rate of fire on your most damaging guns, which is almost an imperative in this game. Survivalist class is a jack of all trades but a master of none. You can use all the guns from any class and perks accommodating the playstyle which you prefer. From what I've seen and heard, it is best suitable for solo runs, but do not take my word for granted. Getting that out of the way, I can concentrate on gameplay elements, so let's get right into it. The game has 4 difficulties, ranking from easiest to most difficult: normal, hard, suicidal, and hell on earth. Naturally, as you level up, you want to bump up the difficulty, but be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. Pick 4, 7, or 10 waves of enemies. I recommend always picking 10 waves, as you will periodically learn through trial and error the best way to deal with the incoming horde. At the first few waves, you will see that there is no big reason to worry about much, but after waves 5 or more, you start hearing this. Indicating that shit is about to go down. There are many types of Zeds that you need to be aware of, and their AI is incredible. You will notice that most of them are not just brainless zombies going in a straight line trying to suckle you. Most of them can't die from a single headshot. They will do this, or this, and this, and this.
Perfect. Pod is open again.
At the end of every game, you will battle 1 out of 5 bosses, some being a real challenge while others not so much. Let's meet our roster of friends. The first one is the most common Zed, called Cyst. There are many of them, they move pretty slowly, can grab you, and have low damage. Second place comes Alpha Clot. I do not know the reason why is he called Alpha Clot, since he dies just as fast as a Cyst. Can sometimes sprint at you at full speed though. Third place is Slasher. Now this fella is hella fast and athletic, has chain attacks and jumps around. Fortunately, he can be disposed of easily. Fourth place is the Rioter. He has full metal armor at the front and occasionally buffs movement speed and damage for other Zeds. When facing him, just go for the legs. Fifth place is Gabe Newell, and he's... Sorry, scratch that. Fifth place is Bloater. The only weak spot is his head, which he will sporadically defend. He can be a real nuisance since he can regurgitate all of Riot's titles at you, sometimes placing scat mines and just outright slashing at you. The only downside is that the Bloater is the slowest Zed in the game. In sixth place comes Gorefiend. This guy can chop you up like a salad before you blink, has high damage and can sprint at you most of the time. Sometimes needs a whole clip to kill him. Stay cautious around him. Seventh place is adorned by the most hated Zed in my humble opinion, the Crawler. This motherfucker crawls upon you when you least expect it, pun intended, mostly dies from 1 or 2 bullets, has a very low profile and can sucker punch you most of the time since you forgot to aim at the floor and kill him on the floor. If that wasn't enough, there is an elite version of it that explodes on death, leaving toxic gas behind, and the only way to prevent gas from leaking is a headshot. 8th place is taken away by the stalkers. You can hear them whisper coming at you, but not even see them. You can live out your fantasy of being chased by invisible chicks. Nobody believes you anyway. Husk is number 9 on this list and is basically a sniper Zed. His huge flamethrower is not just a sniper tool, since he can turn you into ashes at a moment's notice. He can also suicide when low on health. 10th place is reserved for Karen, aka the Siren. Karen's vocabulary while discussing with the manager is so strong it allows her to nullify all grenades and explosions thrown at her. She is a bane of all demolition mains and reasonable mercenaries. Has below average HP though, go for the vocal cords. Robots? In a zombie game? Why not, says Tripwire. There are 3 versions of them and they have a variety of weapons that make your life miserable. Need considerable robotics knowledge to dismantle these babies down. Now we go for the big leagues. Scrake was once a proud plastic surgeon, but soon after he decided he has seen enough and just went to correct their necks with a chainsaw instead. Starts off by menacingly walking towards you, ignoring multiple headshots, and at one point just starts sprinting at you, wildly swinging and chopping. Has a large health pool and should be big focus for the entire team to bring down.
Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like.
These hulking gigachads called flesh pounds are the amalgamation of awe and terror. They are always faster than you and have the highest health pool and damage in the game. Their only weak spot is a small metal piece attached to their chest. That small metal thingy pops them up with Justin Bieber songs, making them extremely volatile. They rule the battlefield and even mow down other Zeds if they come in their way. Extreme caution is required, and the whole team should group up and finish them off. All those Zed look disturbing when you realize they are human genetic experiments and not your regular batch of zombies. I like their design and think they fit the scenery. Talking of scenery, maps in Killing Floor 2 are suitable for this type of game. Some of them are even very neat to look at. From a graphical standpoint, the game is presentable. And to be honest, while playing it, you rarely have the time to admire little details, since most of the time you are doing this. As you might suspect, teamwork is key. Hold choke points, do minimal objectives, pick your targets, spray and pray. If you dare to wander off from your team at one point, just dig a hole beforehand. You also might have noticed I rarely use iron sights and fire from the hip. The reason is that it is rather risky to go into aiming mode and shrink your point of view. You need to be constantly on the move and scan around for potential threats, eliminating them as soon as possible. There are many weapons for any class to deal with Zeds, and some of them are pretty unique and satisfying to use. You are bound to find your favorite class and gun in the game. Let's talk about the best feature in any co-op FPS, Z time. Have you ever wanted to show off in front of your teammates your cool kill in slow-mo? Well, now you can. Z-Time is a gameplay mechanic that slows down time for all your teammates and Zeds temporarily, leaving you with the opportunity to line up your shots and do some sick combos, or just admire the chaos you have created. Z-Time triggers randomly when you or someone else kills a random Zed. It can sometimes snowball, leaving you in slow-mo for at least 6 to 7 seconds. It is glorious, and every time it triggers, my monkey brain is injected with a huge serotonin dose. Community in this game is great too. When someone asks for money to buy guns at the terminal, guess what? They are given D money, since it is in everyone's interest to beat the horde and amass vault money. Vault money? To be honest, I have no idea what it does, and I do not care. I am here for the carnage. But if you are the one to go for the collectibles and skins, you can, and more power to you. Music. Yes, songs in Killing Floor 2 are from your OG local town metal band who swears they are very close to hitting it big. And the very next day, the vocalist OD'd and they got a new drummer who just came out of music school. All jokes aside, accompanying music while you shred your enemies is a banger and suits the theme of the game. You can turn off the vocals though, if you are more of a instrumental kind of guy.
Glad to see you made it through. Make for the pod and gear up.
The first time when I powered up Killing Floor 2, I immediately knew what to do and what it takes. And you will too if you are not a complete trash at video games. The game is being constantly updated to even this day with events and stuff to do. If you have not bought this game already, what are you even doing right now? Playing Fortnite? Battle Royale? Get the fuck out of here and go play a real man's game. I love you all. Sleep tight, kings and queens.